Here we go.
Yeah, sure.
All right, go ahead. Now we're back and with Tassin from Bangladesh, and he's going to give us another alleged scientific error in the Quran. And so we'll go ahead and talk about it. So, Tassin, go ahead and tell me what's on your mind today.
So when I was a teenager, there was this guy who actually told me that there are scientific miracles in Quran. So I was like, yeah, what's the scientific miracle? I was like, and he quoted some verses which were like, Allah has created everything in pairs,
Mm-hmm.
in pairs.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, all right, yeah, that's quite something. I mean, I was pretty young back then, so I had no idea. So um, when I actually started learning biology in my ninth grade, back in ninth grade, science was pretty much compulsory for us. Also, I'm a business background student, so when I was starting to take my biology courses, I was like, there are organisms which are acellular. There are organisms which don't really need the gametes of the opposite sex. So how on earth is it possible that all creatures and all living beings are actually created from pairs? Because if I'm not wrong, if I don't know if Quran is a book from Almighty. Is it a revelation on Prophet? But from rational perspective, let us suppose that if if you're in the middle of Arabia, then you could see that there are camels and other animals, people raising livestock, and they're giving birth. So it's quite obvious that anyone can guess that all living creatures are actually created from pairs. And I'm pretty sure that back then they never had any microscope or something like that to actually uh, detect any sort of microorganism to identify, let alone identifying that whether they're bisexual or unisexual. So that's my case here.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and share my desktop. Thank you for that, and let's see if we can kind of address this issue here. So, in fact, let me find my document over here. And so, yeah, so we need to first of all make the distinction between everything created in pairs versus male and female, because obviously they're two different things. And so when we
All right.
actually look at the Quran says that we have created basically everything in pairs. The word there is zojain, but zojain does not mean male and female. Okay, like for example, I'll show you the same word being used over here. There's zojain. You can read the Arabic script. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So there it is. So in this hadith over here, it says, "He who spent pairs he who spent pairs, which is the same word in the Quran, zojain, for the sake of Allah, the guardians of paradise would call him." Now, here's my point, which I'm trying to make here. You could look at this and see this has nothing to do with male or female. Okay, this is talking about you've got something here and something which is analogous. That could be a pair. Pair here is so open for interpretation, like for example, iOS and Android. These are, or you could say a pair of cell phones, a pair of this. What it's so open, who knows what it really means? But what I want you to understand here is zakara wa untha. This is male and female. That's not what the Quran says. Okay, zakara wa untha. The Quran says the word zojain, which just means pairs. So that's very easy. So I think some people have misinterpreted to make it okay, male and female. But even that, if you read the English translation, they just use the word mates, trying to interpret the word zojain, which is pairs or something like that. So, did you have any questions about that?
So the word used here in the Quranic text is zawjain, which actually
Zojain.
refers to, zawjain, which does not actually refer to male or female.
It has multiple meanings. Yeah, it's what I think we need to be emphasized here is male and female is not explicitly in the text. For example, male and female in the Quran, you'll find a verses. It's zakara wa untha. This is female, untha, dhukara, male. And you'll find that
All right.
in several places in the Quran. But when it came over here, it just said zojain, pair. Okay, which is, and pair is so open for interpretation, whatever it could mean. So from a scientific point of view, if a scientist were looking at this, or a scientific body, they're going to say, what is this? We want specific details. What do you mean pairs? We want to know what you mean by that. Give us details. We don't deal with vague and ambiguous things. And so
All right.
this can never contradict science in any way to make a vague and ambiguous statement like that. Okay, so did you have any questions on this or any?
Okay. Up until now, I'm pretty clear.
Okay, yeah. So I'll go ahead and end my share over here. So, like this, keep bringing up these objections, and we'll keep addressing them. And here's the reason why, because the people who have actually made these claims, people like David Wood, Jay Smith, they have refused to discuss and debate this. After the debate you saw I did with Jay Smith, I'll put that down inside the description. If you look in that debate, and let me just ask you your frank opinion. That was a discussion in which they tried out their material to see if they could really prove a scientific miracle. I'm sorry, a scientific error in the Quran. Do you feel Jay Smith was successful in doing that in any way?
Uh, from a rational perspective, well, I don't really think he was successful because,
Mhm.
to my opinion, I think that virginity test that he pointed out from the Bible, he actually failed to what failed to defend that, and after that, I think he made some allegation regarding the bees or something like that,
Mhm.
bees eating fruits,
Fruit, yeah,
and I think you gave your argument, and I think the whole debate was it was like very much ganging up on you or something like that,
hmm
because the
yeah.
moderator, I think he was pretty biased. I won't really call that a debate because I think it was a 2-on-1 game.
Right. Well, we could conclude that from watching that there was nothing in there that would raise a question about the Quran. Oh my God, what is this? This has to be resolved. This doesn't make sense. Jay Smith brought some
No,
really
no,
good
no.
points.
I don't think there is
Yes.
some anything like that which actually really raised
hmm
my eyebrows. Like,
Yeah.
oh, there's a real defect in
Yeah.
Quran or something like that. Because
Yeah.
I've been going through all these allegations and on this, and most of these are pretty deceptive. And I think we really need to learn more about Arabic before
Right.
suddenly trying to jump into any sort of conclusion.
Yeah, so here's my point. I think Jay Smith is well aware, and people like David Wood, Jay Smith, and these so-called critics of Quran and science, I think they know what you see and what I see. They see the same thing. They know that if they were to have a second, a third, a fourth discussion, people are going to start seeing, and it's going to start becoming more apparent that their arguments don't make sense against the Quran. So that is why they have all retreated from the debate challenge, or even just having a frank nice discussion. Like, you and I are having a really good discussion. I like it, but man, I would love to talk to Jay Smith about these things. I would love to talk to David Wood about these things and all those other people, but they won't come forward to talk to me anymore because they've come to the conclusion that they're not going to be able to prove anything. Okay, and if you look at those past discussions, there's nothing in there that raises a question about the Quran. Hey, what is this? There's just nothing there. So anyways, I tell you what, I think I got 2 more minutes on this free Zoom meeting, but so I think we'll wrap up the issue about pairs. So please also make a list, and we will definitely talk more about whatever you feel needs to be discussed, and we'll take it from there. All right, thanks, Tassim.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, bye.
Yeah, you're most welcome.